What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Tuesday play-in NBA playoff DFS episode, and I am excited for the playoffs to begin. The last few weeks of the NBA regular season always brutal with injuries and playing, guys from the Grizzlies and the Wizards and the Pistons. Now we get to see some, really, really entertaining competitive basketball with very, very short-listed injury reports, which is always, a nice change of pace in DFS because, February and March basketball and April basketball is tough. So we do have AD, quote-unquote, questionable tonight, but he's going to play. I mean, unless something really serious happens with him, he's going to play the play-in game. He's got to. But that game's the first game on the slate anyway, so we're going to know that news regardless. No other injury news we got to wait on. We do have Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter out for the Kings. That's going to open up some nice value. They've been out, but really the most hurt team on this slate in these two games tonight. So I'm going to give you guys 5 plays that I like, value plays that is, one for each position. Give this video a like. I'll be doing a MLB video today as well. Hopefully we can have a nice Tuesday night to begin our playoffs. I have my playoff groups open on Twitter. You can pay a pretty small fee for that for the entire playoffs. Covers cash and GPP lineups for all main slates. And the NBA playoffs are a long time. They're like over 2 months, so it's definitely worth, the money because it's pretty cheap. I go pretty cheap. But for point guard, I like Steph Curry tonight at sub 9K, 8,900. He's a good guy to spend up for. Point guard is tough. We have most of our value in the forward positions tonight and at center, so we're going to want to spend up at point guard. We don't have any cheaper point guard guys. In my opinion, there's only 3 guys you can pick at point guard tonight, and that's Fox, Curry, and McCollum, the top 3 guys. D'Angelo Russell, a little too expensive for my liking with a, fully healthy Lakers team. Now, if somehow, some way, Anthony Davis gets ruled out tonight, it would be a different story for Russell. Chris Paul not in play. Daniels didn't. Maybe Alvarado off the bench seeing 20 minutes. He could get there. He needs 20 fantasy points. Alvarado is the only guy you could even, begin to consider as a cheap point guard play. So the fact that we don't have really any cheap point guard plays, it's going to, kind of force us to spend up at point guard tonight. So, 2 of any of the 3, Fox, Curry, and McCollum, are going to look pretty good. I like Curry out of the bunch. Playoff Steph Curry can get really dangerous if he gets the stroke going. In terms of both games, like Vegas spreads, there's not really an advantage over the other. Both games are like 223, 224 over under, and it's like a 2-point spread for both games. So one game doesn't look really any better than the other. Just to compare the 2 games side by side. I like Curry at point guard. Needs 44 fantasy points to hit value. He has a big upside. Looks pretty good at point guard. Shooting guard, I brought up that Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk are hurt. Keon Ellis is going to be the value guy tonight. 4,900. There's not a ton of guys below 5K we can really look at. He's going to be starting. He's going to be playing, anywhere from 24 to 32 minutes tonight. His minutes are just more solidified with no Malik Monk coming off the bench. He looks good. I mean, he doesn't look great, but he looks good for a 2-game slate. 2-game slates is always tough value sub 5K because, especially in the playoffs, guys play. Guys don't sit out, so we don't get a ton of value. Keon Ellis looks like he fits the build pretty well. 3 out of his last 4 games playing really well. That one game against the Pelicans, not great, but the other 3 games, really good. So we know what his upside is, but we also know what his floor is. He could get you 10 fantasy points. So, again, on a 2-game slate, there's not going to be many sub 5K value plays tonight. So even if a guy like Keon Ellis doesn't hit value, it's probably not going to kill you. I do like him. Just because the Kings, they really just have a 5-man rotation now. They don't have a ton of guys to lean on off the bench. Point guard, Davion Mitchell plays a little bit off the bench. Shooting guard, Colby Jones, I don't even know who that is. Mason Jones, don't know who that is. Small forward, you got Chris Duarte and Kessler Edwards, and they don't play. So, I mean, it's really the 5 Kings guys are going to play 30-plus minutes most likely. Keon Ellis looks really good. He was always sketchy even as a starter back when Malik Monk was playing because Monk would finish the games a lot. So with no Monk, no Herter, Keon Ellis looks like he has a pretty safe pathway to significant minutes tonight. And then for small forward, we're going to stick with the Kings. Again, with no Kevin Herter and no Malik Monk, Harrison Barnes at sub 5K. These Kings value pieces look really good tonight. 4,700 needs 23 fantasy points to hit value. He's easily done that in the last 3 games, playing pretty big minutes. We saw throughout the year 19 minutes, 24 minutes, 21 minutes, 15. Harrison Barnes wasn't reliable even as a starter because there were games where he wouldn't finish the game. When you have Malik Monk and Kevin Herter coming off the bench, that's 2 extra guys that could finish the game in the fourth quarter. So, again, just like Keon Ellis, Harrison Barnes, an easier pathway to play minutes tonight. It was always Kevin Herter that could fill in for Barnes at small forward. It was always Malik Monk who could fill in for Keon Ellis at shooting guard. So, it's just an easier pathway. Again, in the playoffs, not a ton of injuries to take advantage of on this slate. We want to utilize the Kings being pretty short-handed without 2 of their utility guys coming off the bench. Power forward, I do like Zion Williamson as a spend up tonight. 9,200. The guy's been playing, lights out in the second half of the season. We do have Brandon Ingram back, but he's not 100%. He was limited to 23 minutes in his first game back, and that was just before the season ended. They're obviously going to try to push him in a play-in game, but there's no way I buy the fact that he's 100%. So expect, the most usage on the team to run through Zion. He has been an absolute stud. Filling up the defensive stats too. 6 steals 2 games ago, 3 steals, 5 blocks. His assist numbers look pretty good. He needs 46 fantasy points to hit value. Looks like one of the better spend-ups on tonight's slate. And I just think, with Brandon Ingram back, it's not a big enough deal for me. I do like Zion. He's not like a must-play if you wanted to go up another 1,000 to LeBron James. That never hurts either. But we're going to be spending up on point guards tonight, like I was saying earlier, so it might not be as easy to get Zion in there, but he looks pretty good if you have that money at power forward. Another thing, too, is we do have Sabonis on this slate, but if we're picking Fox at point guard, we're not going to be able to get up to Sabonis, and I wouldn't suggest picking both Fox and Sabonis in the same lineup anyways. So saving that $1,600 at power forward to go to Zion looks a lot better to me. And then for center, Larry Nance could be a value piece that we want tonight at center. I was looking at him. I was looking at Trace Jackson Davis. Davis has been starting for the Warriors to end the season over Jonathan Kuminga. His minutes are just a little wonky, and he's $1,000 more than Nance. Nance, more often than not to end the season, he would start the second half over Jonas Valanciunas and play more minutes. He's come in consistently playing more minutes than Valanciunas. Really the whole second half of the year. 7 minutes, 16 minutes. The Pelicans sneaky hate Valanciunas. And the thing is here, the matchup against Anthony Davis is fast. Valanciunas is not fast. I think even if Valanciunas starts, Larry Nance is the faster big. The matchup suits him a lot better. So if he ends up playing anywhere over 20 minutes tonight, he's going to look like a great value play. Him, Harrison Barnes, Keon Ellis, looking like our best mid 4K values on this slate. I do like Nance even coming off the bench because he has been prone to start the second half over Jonas Valanciunas. That'll do it for this video, guys. I'm excited for the NBA playoffs to start and get going. We have a nice couple of months of this. Nice competitive basketball, fun DFS. Get in my playoff group. Message me. Give this video a like. I do appreciate you guys for stopping by. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.